Nice to
friend.
meet you first.
Yes, great. My friend will join us any minute now.
All right.
Let me introduce ourselves. I'm Reza and I'm a software engineer. Me and my friend, Ali. Ali will join us. We have been trying for a long time to produce English video podcasts with people from all around the world, like Brazil, like Colombia, South of America, some countries from Europe. And we had a lot of sessions with all of them. Those sessions were so cool because we got to know about their countries, their cultures, customs, and everything. And specifically about Brazil. Brazil is a so great country. Whenever we have a new conversation with people from Brazil, we hear we hear a lot of new information. Right? It's a really great country.
Yeah, it is. As you perfectly said, Brazil is huge. I think you could spend a lifetime traveling around and you don't get to know the whole place. It's like something that is a continental sized country, right? And uh, for example, I live in Espírito Santo, which is the state northern Rio. You know, although I was born in Rio, but I was raised, I grew up, and I live here in Espírito Santo, more precisely in the capital of Espírito Santo, Vitória. And to be honest, I don't intend to go back to Rio never again in my life. Okay. But man, even here in Espírito Santo, that is not exactly a touristic speaking known place. It is a very beautiful and incredible place. And it's just like people don't know this. People don't come here so often as they go to Rio, as they go to São Paulo, for example. It seems that people who comes to Brazil, the only two places that exist is Rio, most likely, most of them, and São Paulo for people who will travel to work, most likely. You know?
Yes. You know, in fact, people all around the world know the Brazil with Rio, with that big statues. No, this is the sign of the Brazil, I think. Is that right?
Yeah. For example, to be honest, like in Rio, Rio has a very interesting thing. I even posted on my podcast about it, which is about the Rio's speech accent, right? I even posted about because although people may think this accent from Rio does not come from Brazil. It's not a Brazilian thing.
Sorry. Let me share the link with my friend.
Okay.
You know, just a minute. I want to find the link of our conversation. I can't find it here.
Let me see if I can help. Yeah, me neither. To be honest, the first time I ever had like a Zoom video conference, like Zoom, no, sorry, Skype.
I think I'll find it. Yes. Yes, I've just sent to my friend the invitation link. And also, let me just a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, great. Okay. Sorry for interruption.
Okay.
Yes,
It's okay.
Ali will join.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hello
How
there.
are you doing?
I'm very well. Thanks for asking. How are you?
Hey, Ali. Well, nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you too. What's up? What's your name? What should I call you?
Just call me Bruno. That's fine.
Bruno. Okay.
That's my first name.
Bruno. Actually, that's the easiest Brazilian name I've heard so far. You know.
More precisely, this name is Italian.
This is Italian. Oh
It's
yeah,
an Italian
Bruno.
name.
Because of the okay, I got it. Yeah. That sounds like
I
Italian.
usually it's funny because my first name is Italian, but I'm from a Portuguese family. I was born in Rio, but I live in Espírito Santo.
Awesome. So, and this is exactly what we are doing. We need more people like you. You yourself are a whole package, an international package. You know what I mean? Like, we can learn a lot about you.
Yeah, well, I don't know if there is so much to learn about me, but I think I can help you with a lot of things about the place I live.
I'm certain there are so many things that people want to learn, and they want to listen and they want to learn about you. That's why we invite people. A lot of
True.
people want to hear these kind of conversations. So, guys, I unfortunately I won't be able to keep the conversation with you like more than 30 minutes. Okay, so I gotta go somewhere, and but I'll be here for around 40 minutes. So it's really great to see how many people from Brazil. The last talk we had, Bruno, was just who was it with? Reza? Larissa.
Laritza, yeah, from Bahio, is that right?
Bahia.
Bahia, yeah. Sorry.
Bahia.
Bahia.
Bahia is the state up north, Espírito Santo.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because
the city of coffee.
If you take the map, there is like a Bahia, and you go to the south, it's Espírito Santo, where I live, and you go to the south, it's Rio.
Okay, so you should be really close to Rio, right?
Yes, technically, yes, it is. If I take a car right now, and here in Brazil it's 3 p.m. If I can get by Rio State, like across the border in, I don't know, 3.5 hours, maybe 4.
So that's close, like 400 kilometers or so.
Less than that.
Okay, that's really close.
I consider this 3.5, 4 hours mostly because of traffic.
Okay. I've heard something about Rio from someone in Brazil, Larissa, the lady that we talked before, and she said something crazy that I found it really hard to believe. She said that in Rio there are the safe zones, the tourist zones, that the tourists go and they stay safe. But if you exit, if you try to cross the safe zone, there are people who
You'll be shot.
You'll be not shot, but I mean, like, somehow it's dangerous if you just go there alone.
Yeah, not far from the truth. To be honest, the untold truth about Rio, sadly to say, but the untold truth about Rio lives a civil war without being labeled.
Really?
Yes.
So there are real rebels out there?
I would say not rebels or anything like we see around the world as civil war in the terms of like rebellion people against army or population against population. It's more something related to drug dealing and organized crime. They took over part of the city, most likely the favela part. They took over. Law as we would like to be doesn't exist there. So this would be like the safe zone that she's talking about.
Okay.
I watched the City of God movie before. I think that movie was maybe was shooted in Rio. Is that right?
Yeah, shooting in Rio. That movie was shot in Rio and other places as well.
Okay. But the crime rate must be really high there.
Well, man, if you want to see something like what happens in Rio, try to watch both movies, Tropa de Elite.
That was Spanish or something?
I don't know how to be honest. I don't know if the movie when it went to other countries out of Brazil. I don't know how it was named, but in Brazil it's Tropa de Elite. I think in English it was uh, uh, like some squad force team or something. You
Uh-huh.
know, it shows exactly how the corruption is inside the police, inside the government, and how things are going on, like in the favelas, in this not safe zone that Larissa has talked about to you.
Okay, that's
Great.
really good to know because when I was younger, I remember I had these magazines that I really read about the festivals and everything in Brazil, and one thing that I always had in mind was to come to Brazil and just enjoy Rio de Janeiro with all the parrots and everything there. But
Yeah, I can imagine. I really
yeah,
can imagine. But tell me, tell you the truth, it's not the only thing that you can find in Brazil. I live in a state, as I was talking to Raza, I live in a state that is like beautiful, amazingly beautiful, and it's not people don't come here, you know, people just don't come here. And to be honest, I think this is something that we here enjoy, this not coming, because we don't want our state, and I can tell this our state because I was raised here. I was just born in Rio, but I was raised here. And we don't want our state to become another Rio.
and have you I mean the authorities have they taken any actions against the I don't
Yeah,
know
to
the
help
crime?
them, to help the criminals. That's what they do.
So I that sounds like you're a huge fan of your government.
Not to be honest, I'm not a fan. I'm not a big fan of any government.
Exactly, yeah. That's what I always tell friends from other countries that if you think your country is like corrupted or so, then you haven't been to hell yet.
Yeah, let me show you something. This is a state park here in my country, in my state. It's a state park called, in Portuguese, it's called Pedra Azul. Literally translated would be the blue stone, literally speaking. Okay, this is an image of this place.
Oh my God.
What's that huge thing in the middle? Is that a
Yeah,
mountain or so?
yeah, that's a mountain. It's also nicknamed by the lizard stone.
Yeah, that sounds like it. That looks like a lizard on the mountain.
That's why it's called lizard stone.
Oh,
Interesting.
and
Yeah.
and this park is like I don't know, 100 miles away from my house.
Wow, that looks
yes.
really
I think in Brazil has a lot of strange lizards, like Draco lizards. Those lizards which are flying. Is that right?
No.
Really?
We do have flying cockroaches, but lizards I haven't seen.
Yes, I
uh,
saw in a I think BBC documentary which was shooted in Amazon rainforest, and I saw a kind of Draco lizard. They're in fact
yeah, but
they were jump and then they were flying. It was I
well,
was really amazed.
I must say that like biology is not exactly my thing. Not that I don't like it. I just don't know much. For example, this is another place that I visited sometimes. This is also a very beautiful nature state of arts thing. The name in Portuguese is called O Frade, a Freira. If I translate it literally, it would be something like the nun and the little priest, you know. And it's this.
yeah. That really looks like uh the Mary is holding Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but people say, oh, sorry, guys. Sorry. Uh, this is we call it the nanny, the nun, sorry, the nun and
Yeah,
the little priest.
yeah, the
You
nun and the
know,
little priest. Yeah, that really that is self-explanatory. You know, it explains
yeah.
itself. That's so.
And I practice cycling, and I rode up to the toppest place that it could be rode.
Oh, great.
That
Has
I went to the top.
has Brazil any high mountain?
The highest mountain here is not that high. I think the highest mountain here in Brazil it's in Espírito Santo, Pico da Bandeira. It's called like the flag peak, you know. My wife has been to the top of Pico da Bandeira. Let me see if I can get a picture from the top to show you guys. But there are like many, many, many incredible places. Let's see here. Oh, found a good one. It even looks like my wife's picture. Let me get here. Where is it? Here. This is one image. People usually climb this peak during the night to watch the sunrise there.
Oh, okay.
And this is the place. It's very tall, very high. Sorry.
Oh,
Yeah, it's above the clouds, so I guess it must
Yeah,
be
it is.
high. Yeah.
I would say I think it's I don't know 2 or 3 kilometers high.
oh.
In comparison with other mountains, that doesn't sound like it's really high, but
No,
if
it's not.
yeah, it's not really. But
Actually,
I guess go on.
Brazil has a in Brazil our geography, let's say our formation, is a very old place. That's
Yeah.
why we don't
Great.
have like tall mountains or places like, for example, the Everest, as it is a new formation, is still getting higher, you know. And in terms of geography, Brazil has a very old territory. It's a very old. It's very. It already suffered a lot with natural changes and natural disasters, and it also because we are in the middle of a tectonic plate in South America. We don't have like volcanoes. We don't have like earthquakes. Like it's very rare to have any shaking around Brazil. You know,
Oh,
because
One thing that
the nearest border of a tectonic plate is in Chile. It's like the other side of South America.
Okay.
oh.
One thing that I really wanted to know about is about the history of Brazil. I was just reading something online and I found that the tribes there, like and please correct me, I might be wrong, the Incas. Am
No,
I
Incas
right?
is not in Brazil.
Well, in Indies, something like that. I don't know. There are some tribes
Incas,
there.
Incas in it's in Peru actually.
Uh-huh.
Incas were in Peru, I think south of Colombia and Bolivia as well, but not in Brazil.
So in
And the
Brazil, do you have
Mayas in
tribes?
Mexico. Mayas is in Mexico, like way far from us.
So no tribes in your area, like in Brazil.
Not that we don't have tribe, but we didn't have something that we could consider civilization. We didn't.
Oh, so no
We just had
civilization
like
where.
no, we didn't have like we had only like local tribes, small things, nothing that we could consider a civilization. But after Brazil started being colonized, when the Portuguese came and they bring the priests and so on, they created a language. So just to reinforce, Esperanto is not the only artificial language ever created. They created a language here in Brazil called the Yengatu, which kind of mixes all the most important language sounds, vocab, grammar aspects of all major languages spoken by the native Indians here.
Oh, so what was the name of the language again?
Yangatu.
Yingatu. Okay. And what are the major languages that most people speak in Brazil? I know
No, it's
one is
we basically.
Portuguese.
No, it's Portuguese. We speak
It-
Portuguese.
Okay, it's Portuguese, and how would you say, like, the majority of people in Brazil, can they speak English, or is it like when you get there, you should find yourself troubled finding someone who could speak English?
Well, here we could say that you're going to find yourself F words big time if you come here and don't speak anything in Portuguese. To be honest, and it's so fun, and I get so frustrated because I've been an English teacher for like 15 years by now, and it's so frustrating to see that only 3% of Brazilian population really speak English.
Wow. So
And
that's
we are like,
shocking, man.
we are
That's like
like, yeah, we are like 220 million people by now in Brazil, and only
3% is like only
3%
6
of
million,
us,
6, 7
maybe
million. Yeah.
6,
And
7 million people.
is it something
And
related to the government and the whatever the regulation, the whatever the decisions the government make, or is it a part of your culture that people are not that much open to the international societies?
to be honest, Ollie and Rosa, to be honest, is a little of both, but in terms of our culture, is not exactly what you said. Uh, Indeed, Brazil, historically speaking, Brazilian governments never really cared about education, and that's why it is one of the reasons that I dropped teaching in schools. To
Okay.
be honest, I just got tired of trying to teach.
Now you go to
You know,
your private students, or you teach in language schools?
no, I teach in a language school, and I opened my own language school like 3 months ago.
Congratulations,
So
man.
thank
Great.
you. Thank you for that. And I'm working both schools, the language school that I work for,
Uh-huh.
and my own language school that I opened 3 months ago.
How's it
And
been going so far?
yeah, it's getting good. It's getting good. We are in a pandemic. Many people lost their jobs, so opening a business and getting people buying and consuming what you have to sell in a pandemic situation, I think itself it's already a victory. You know, it's something to celebrate.
Yeah. I do agree with you.
And for example, and I just like I said, I got tired of teaching in schools because historically speaking, people, Brazilian government never cared about school. And here, because our culture is the type of culture that we are immediate people. So, for example, I want to study English with you, teacher. Okay. So, if in a month I don't speak, I quit. That's how people are here.
Oh, that sounds familiar. People are from my country,
Yes.
well, exactly the same. The same story around everywhere, I guess, because because people really want to be efficient with their time, and there's so many of those teachers out there that they sell lies to the students that, okay, if you come to my classes, then you can speak English in 2 months. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's one of the major problems here, that there are so many fake motherfucker teachers that they only sell lies to students. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Like,
That's
yeah,
true.
there is a teacher here which is actually a kind of celebrity. He's got more than 2 million, around 3 million followers on Instagram, and he claims that you can speak English in 10 days.
I think I saw this asshole. I think I saw him.
And this guy is like, my students come to me, when, like, for example, a student just calls another student, okay, da 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 da, and when they call me, they say, okay, how long does it take to study and learn English? And when I tell them, like, it takes more than 700 hours, it's something like a year or 2 years to get to the
Yeah.
B1 level, so you are not still fluent. They run away, they just run away.
No, once a person like, oh, I saw this guy. He said that he spoke like 7 languages, and he can teach English. You can learn English like in 10 or 12 days. I like, okay, I pay for you. If in 10 or 12 days you are not fluent as I am, you're gonna pay me back double time.
Yeah.
Agreed?
Oh,
And come on, kiss my ass, man. Like, gee.
um, Bruno, I'm so glad that we got to this. We got to this point that we were talking about this kind of stuff because you see this guy here, Reza. He's a computer genius, honestly, and
thank you.
I'm a teacher
Thanks so much.
myself. I've been teaching for almost 7 years, and I've noticed something in my classes that no matter how many years your students study English, they never get to the point to be able to communicate freely without the fear of being embarrassed or whatsoever, to be freely able to communicate with people of the other countries. And this is the ultimate goal of learning a language, to be able to communicate. And what is missing, not only in my classes, but I found that, which is like huge in many other countries, is that students only speak with the same person that has the first language as theirs. You know what I mean? Like a Brazilian is communicating with another Brazilian. What's the point? You have your own language. You're technically, in terms of like the necessity of a language.
You can make the mistake because of your first language interfering in your second language, and the
they
other
can
person
still
will understand because it's part of it.
Exactly, that's what I'm talking about, my man. I'm so glad that you have the same mindset. You see, and that's what happens. Even C1 students,
I don't know.
They never get to the point to be able to communicate. And what? Go on.
No, I was thinking because as you can see, I get so like Jesus. Here in Brazil, something that happens, it's exactly like it seems that you've been here and studied the people who want to speak English here. Exactly like that. Something that I've noticed, and I talk to my students, like, man, this is so stupid. You come, like, you want to speak English, and you pay the course, you study. Some people really dedicate. I cannot say they are not. I have students who are really dedicated, and it's something that I find like amazing to see. What we call, you as a teacher may see in books, like the ideal student, and they are not afraid of trying. They just try. The ideal student, the person just try. He goes there and he speaks. If he goes right, good. If he goes wrong, okay. What did I do wrong? Okay, like this. Okay, now I got it. Let's try again. And he goes. That's how it does. The ones who doesn't have this mindset of trying, okay, man. So what are you thinking about this? The pandemic is going on and people are reopening bars, reopening schools, reopening shopping centers. And I have to speak English. Like a retarded, like I have to speak English, like a retarded.
Exactly.
And they don't want to try. They don't want to put themselves. But if the same person sees an American or British or a person from Israel, Iran, somebody from another country come to Brazil,
which has the information gap.
And they come to Brazil and they call and they get to this person speaking Portuguese and say, "Como você está?" Oh, that's so nice. He's speaking Portuguese. Like, what the fuck? Shit, man. Really? Really? Are you serious now?
Exactly.
So what's the problem to do the same in English? It's because I'm embarrassed, like,
Bruno, exactly the same. The same shit happens here. And you know what? Let me tell you something. I'm not sure. I might be wrong, but tell you what, I guess it's the same all around the world.
It
And
seems that.
I shit you not, this is something that I've noticed. I've talked to friends from Russia, from Colombia, from Turkey, you name it. People from everywhere, and the same shit happens everywhere. And you know why is that? I guess because there is no gap between those students. You know what I mean? They never, you know, they've never been to a situation in a situation in which, you know, the only available option to be able to communicate is English.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you're talking, like I had a student. She came to me and, you know, she said, "Okay, teacher, let's talk about the pandemic." And she started asking the other, you know, fellow classmates, "Okay, how's the pandemic going in your country?" And I was like, "Jesus Lord, you all live in the same country. You all know how is the pandemic going. What kind
Yeah,
of
the pandemic is the same everywhere. Stay home, wear the mask, don't get out with no necessity.
you know
What's
what
the
I mean?
difference?
Exactly." But let me tell you something. I've said all these things to tell you about an idea. And we haven't actually formed the whole thing, but we are working on it. You know, Reza is working on the technical aspects of the idea, and I'm working on the teaching ideas. What we've thought is that what if we could manage a classroom and have students from all over the world, all around the world. So imagine a class. It doesn't need to be like 20 students, maybe just 2 students, 3 students, 4 students. I don't know. But it doesn't need to be like a crowded garbage class. What we thought is that, okay, so in this class, what if an Iranian and a Brazilian communicate to each other, and the teacher, like for example from Brazil or from Iran, manages the class? What happens is that the students will find themselves challenged enough and motivated enough, you know, surprisingly, you know, you should try it, to learn English and take their English to the next level. You know what I mean? I've tried it and I got great results. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And we are in Reza actually is finding great teachers on Instagram and, you know, on social media to join the community. So we have teachers from Russia, Colombia, Germany, those kind of countries, and we are asking for more. You know, we are talking, we are holding conversations, we are holding meetings with people from all around the world to get their attention. And you know, this is something that would also benefit the teachers. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
imagine you could connect your students to the international communities, to students from other countries. Then to their eyes, you would look like a professional international teacher. So I just wanted to know that what you think. What you think about this?
Well, for example, this I've seen a sitcom in the situation. English school in London teaching English for foreigners, and you have Spanish, Italian, French, people from Ranjavi and other places, all in the same room and learning
Mm-hmm.
English together. Very interesting to see. Funny, as like you can really laugh your ass out of your body because it's freaking funny. But also, the school that I work for, I even got the material here. It's called Wise Up, and we teach multi-level classes. You know,
Yeah.
so we teach in a mixed group teachers which are basic students, intermediate students, and advanced students, all in the same class, all with the same material. You know,
Isn't that a little bit fucked up?
not really. It's pretty fun. You know, it's really interesting to see it because they have the same class preparation in terms of language. No, not even. No, sorry.
Lesson
Professional
plan.
development video lesson plans basically the same. Of course, different language videos access, and the activities they are combined. They can be same level, mixed level, nearby level, individual, and it's really interesting because it forces the student to try to communicate, overcome communication difficulties and problems and barriers in order to communicate with higher level students, you know. And also the higher level students has also to overcome these barriers to communicate with a lower level students because he doesn't understand everything.
Exactly. They should be able to make themselves understood because, hey, you're learning English. Not everyone's around the world is supposed to know English.
Exactly. Exactly. You know, and this is something that I all talk to my students like, man, you need to understand. That's why my school it's called Best English. And the first course that I'm selling and I'm providing, I have already 4 groups in this course, in this specific course. It's about a listening speaking course. You know, I provide tools, I provide tools and ways for the students who can get better listening comprehension, better speaking abilities, and so on. Why? Because when the guy gets a plane and he goes from the country, there won't be any subtitles. People won't speak
Exactly. You
slow
see,
like the class.
and let me tell you something. One thing I've noticed is that, some people are just, they're dying that, okay, I should learn the native accents, like as known, like, the British accent, the American accent, the Aussie accent, all, you name it. But one thing that I've noticed is that, okay, you only hear those accents if you travel to that country. So basically, if someone from Iran is trying to travel to Brazil, the odds are you won't hear a native. There is probably some guy from Brazil speaking in English, so you won't be
Yeah,
able to understand the Brazilian accent because what
exactly.
you've done so far is that you focused all your energy only on the native accents. But
Well,
this is
this
not
is
the
something.
language.
This is
Go on.
something because where how can you learn to speak exactly like a native? In 2 ways. First, you're born in the country.
Or you pick up the
Second,
language as when you're a kid.
exactly. Second, move to the country when you're a kid before you start speaking and be raised there. That's why. That's how.
Exactly.
You're not gonna be way different. You know.
Yeah, you see, this is something that a lot of people are going crazy these days. That okay, I want to learn that accent. Okay, where do you want to travel? I want to travel to Brazil. Dude, you don't need to learn British accent if you want to travel to Brazil.
True.
You need to get familiar with the Brazilian accent.
No,
In terms of,
and the funny things like, for example, the people that I know that speak English, it's funny because, like I told you, we only 3% of Brazilians really speak English, like speak English. Uh, and among these people, we have the teachers, professors, we have the, how can I say, artists,
Engineers.
diplomats, politicians, some engineers, some people that are in higher chains of command in many different companies and so on. But if you go like to, I don't know, ordinary people, like school students, college students, and so on, you're not going to see many people who really can speak English. Of course, let's not forget that there are many people who are studying. They are in the process of become fluent and so on. They are shaping language, shaping pronunciation, shaping a lot of things. But you don't see like I can get out of here my house now and just scream out loud, "Hey, does anybody here speak English?" I tell you, that's like throwing a bomb because everybody runs away. you know, it's like throwing a bomb because everybody will just run
okay,
away. Like.
okay. Are people willing to learn English? That's really an important question. Like people in Brazil, how enthusiastic are they in terms of learning a language and to join the international communities?
You know, that's the point because education in Brazil is something recent. Although Brazil is an old country, 500 and something years by now, officially speaking 520, but education is something recent in Brazil.
Okay.
If I go back to my grandpa's times, my grandpa barely finished elementary school.
How about the new
You know,
generation? The new generation, are they willing to learn English?
They are willing to enroll. Something is, I want to learn, like, okay, I will enroll in a school. Let's see how it goes. The other thing, like, as my mom used to say, sit your ass down and open a book and study. This is another point. This is something else. And this second part is not what usually happens. People, they just don't want to study that hard. If it's too much work, they don't want to do it. How many people I've known that started language courses, like, I don't know, all of like 4, 5, 6 times? You know, I know people that are being enrolling in English schools the same time that I speak English.
Okay.
You know.
Yes.
And they never get to the point that they could actually speak English fluently, did they?
No, because it's just too much work for them.
Okay.
It's just too much work.
I guess it's too much work, but you know what? I found something that, you know, the more people learn about the language, the more passionate they become. And
True.
if they are not passionate enough, it means that they're still at the like the basic level, like elementary, like A1 or A2. You know, but as long as, you know, the moment they get to the point that they can make a meaningful conversation with a foreigner and they can understand and can make themselves understood, what happens is that they, like, even like before that conversation, if they spend like 1 hour a week, they're gonna make it like 10 hours a week. You know what I mean? The process will just increase up. And what I'm you know, what I'm trying to say is that, Bruno, I guess what's missing in most English courses is that students don't actually see the point in learning a language. What's missing is that, okay, I can communicate with my partner in my own language. What the fuck do I need to learn English for?
It's
You know,
they don't see why they can't communicate. They should learn a language
that's what I'm
because
saying.
they don't think about what they want to become.
That, yeah, exactly. That's one thing. But maybe what if we give them a reason to communicate? And the real communication. You know what I mean? Okay, I want to talk about politics. When I get to the challenging point, which actually is the foundation of moving to the next level, you know, when I get to the challenging part, when I want to use the grammar, the present perfect grammar that I've just learned, why bother even making it? Like, why don't I get back to my first language and make myself understood, and then I make the basic sentences in English?
Yeah, it's the point. For example, let me tell you what happened to me. Sometimes I used to, I don't know, get some songs to play in the class, to try to, you know, like, get something from the students' universe, English language, see that how it's working together, how they can take benefits of listening to a song and so on, how they can profit from that. And most of the times, what I listen from the students is, I don't know why should I study that if I like the band, I like the artist, but I can take the lyrics online.
Yeah.
I can take the lyrics online.
They don't see the reason. That, I guess, that's the main reason. You know.
And sometimes I ask the students, like, for example, I talk to high school students. So here we have like something called ENEM. It's the high school national exam, which is the entrance exam for the university.
Universities,
you know?
Okay.
And I talk to them. Okay, so what do you want to take in college? What do you want to take in university? What do you want to become? I want to become a doctor. Oh, okay. Do you know where is the biggest congress of medical school in the world? It's in Chicago. It's the biggest medical congress in the world. But I don't want to go to Chicago for a congress. I can check everything while studying here. And one of them like, I wanna be an engineer. I was like, okay, do you know any high-level engineer who doesn't speak English?
Yes,
I don't want to be a
know how
high-level
you
engineer. I just want to pay my bills. The point is that they don't dream big.
Great.
They are told that. I don't know where the hell they learned that life is easy. You know why? Because
How about the adult students?
the adult students, they, for example, I would say like the new generation of adult students, and I would consider my age because I am an adult person in the new generation of adult Brazilians. Most of them, they are getting real now. Most of them are just starting to get real.
Good. That's all I needed to hear, because I myself, I teach adults, and kids, and high school, like the ninth graders. Those are like difficult to deal with. I know. I totally understand, and it's not something in Brazil. In general, kids don't dream big.
No,
you know what I mean?
They don't.
And it's so freaking difficult to motivate them that, hey, dude, listen, life's not gonna be as easy as you think. One day it's gonna hit you in the face, punch you in your like fucking mouth, and you need to stand up. And one way to do so is to be able to communicate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you need something, if you need to be able to find answers on YouTube. You know what I mean? And you know that YouTube is like one of the greatest ways to learn anything, honestly.
Yeah.
Am I right?
No, true.
And the students are like, oh, what is YouTube? I don't want to learn something. And I'm like, dude, listen, one day you're going to thank me because I forced you to watch YouTube videos in English.
Yeah.
About the adults. So let's focus on the adult part. You said that they're getting serious, which is a good sign, which is a good thing to know. Because also here, adults are getting serious. And, I've told my students that what if you're not partnered with someone who knows your first language? What if you're partnered? What if you have a partner from another country? And then instead of explaining Iranian culture to another Iranian, you explain and have a discussion about your culture with someone who doesn't actually know your culture.
Yeah, no, and this is something that I find very interesting, because what I notice about many of them, they are curious about culture. They are curious. If you
Exactly.
And sadly, there are a lot of preconcepts about many different cultures. You know?
Yeah.
And I am truly sorry to say that what is the image that Brazilian people have of Iran?
What is it?
War.
Really?
Exactly.
Oh my God.
Exactly. I hear the same shit all the time.
We Brazilian people, what they say about Iran, Israel, the Middle East as a whole.
Yeah.
War, genocide, terrorism. If I tell like, oh, I will have a live interview today with two guys from Iran who are shooting a podcast about English. Oh, they are from the Islamic State. Be careful. This is what I listen,
I totally feel I feel you with every single cell in my body. One thing that I've noticed is that people, the misconceptions around the world is just freaking crazy. You know what I mean? And this is funny because although the media's job is to inform people, it's just making it worse. You know what I mean? Like the real people do not communicate, and they're just listening to some bullshit from whatever the media they are listening to. You know what I mean? And I find it really interesting. If real people communicate with each other, they're gonna find. They're gonna find a good reason, a motivation, something to spend more time on English. Why? Because, oh wow, I didn't know that people in Brazil actually do that, What I didn't know that Brazilian culture is so similar to our culture. You know what I mean? And because this is something authentic, this is not fake. People are gonna fall in love with it.
Yeah.
And all I'm asking is, would you like, and this is basically your feeling. All I'm asking is like how you feel about the idea. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to join the community, and you and your students, and hold like classes? I told you, not like 200 students with 200s, like 3 students from Brazil, 2 and 3 students from Iran, and like 2 sessions. They discuss the cultural differences, whatsoever. We are English teachers. You can always come up with new ideas to run the class. So it's not going to be that big of a deal. So, like, for example, and then the next day, like, for example, they had a conversation with Iranians, and the next time they're going to have a conversation with Russians. And the next day, they're going to have a conversation with people in Germany. So you're creating a community of all people with, like, I don't know, like all around the world. And I'm asking you, Bruno, in the most respectful manners, anything that you would like to add to the idea? What is your honest opinion about it? Would you like to join?
No, it's a great idea, to be honest. It is a great idea. It's something that I would gladly take it, of course. It's something that even calls my attention because this year, 2020, is, how can I say, it was a turning point for me.
Exactly. This is a game changer, man. This year is a game changer.
It was a turning point for me because my professional life changed radically in the turn of the year. When 1920 was over, 2020 started, and I found myself unemployed and I had to start all over again. And then the pandemic came, and I take a long shot opening my own school online, and it's a full online school. And I'm like, how can I say? I'm just doing.
Getting it started. Yeah, good.
I'm just doing. I'm the type of person that I take a shot, I try, I make a mistake, I learn, and I try again until things get right.
Awesome.
I'm this kind of person, like learning by doing, and I find this idea. And when I started my school, I realized that, man, my English is rusted. Like I'm totally rusted because I realized that I've been speaking English, but I would call it like classroom English.
Yeah.
I noticed that I haven't been talking about other topics, like if a person talks to me about, I don't know, politics,
religion.
I
always talk about religion,
and so on.
Yeah.
And I started. I realized, man, I need to go back to study. I need to start studying again. And what was the best way for me to start studying? I'm the type of person who does things because of an objective. I don't do because I want to do. Study English. What for? No, because you need to study. No, that's not a reason for me.
Exactly.
For me, that's not a reason. So I decided to open my own school, to set up my own school, and I would need to write a lot of things, a lot of material, and that would make me start studying all over again. And that's what I have been doing. I have been reading something. I have been listening a lot. I have been, because of my best listening course that I have to improve listening, improve speaking from my students, I have been doing it to myself. I never sent a class before doing it myself, to understand how hard that can be for my students. So that is making me listen, speaking, read, and write all over again, And something that I haven't told you. We are speaking for like an hour by now, and I
Okay.
haven't told you. I have never been abroad.
You've never been abroad.
Never been abroad. Everything that I've
Okay.
learned, everything that I've known, everything that I have studied and practiced, and all of it was done here.
Self-study, or you had a tutor or something?
No, I've been to a language course. I have been to a language school. I've been to college because I am graduated in English language to be a teacher, which is
Okay.
way. And just to clarify, the English language course to become a teacher as a college university teaches you more about how to teach than the language
Than the
itself.
language itself. Exactly. Yeah.
You
That's
need
what.
to get
Yeah.
there knowing a lot of the language, knowing a
Exactly.
lot of it.
That's something that's missing here. The teachers are not able to speak the English that fluently, yet they know the techniques. Man, I mean, listen, what
Yeah,
the fuck? The input that you're actually giving your students is not well structured enough, and then you're talking about the techniques. What the hell? First, get it right yourself, and then try to teach it to students. You know
yeah,
what I mean? If you're
yeah,
teaching a structure which you are struggling to make to form yourself, then how would you expect your students to do so? You know what I mean? And let me tell you something. For someone who hasn't been abroad, I must say that your English to me sounds really, really nice, man. Really well
thank you,
structured and great. Good job,
thank you,
Bruno.
thank you, thank you. I
Um,
struggled a lot.
I've been through hell. You have no idea what I've been through.
And I
Um,
would do it all over again, be sure of that.
so let me tell you something. And also we have Reza here, he's really a computer genius. He has designed a website which looks really awesome. And as I said, this idea is not only about communicating people from all around the world. It's also a better way. As you mentioned, 2020 is a turning point. A lot of teachers, they have lost their jobs. They're not able to teach online. And this is gonna be like a money-making idea for everyone who participates. You know what I mean? Like, as you mentioned, you opened the school, right?
Yeah.
All your students, tell me, how many students do you have from abroad?
From abroad, none. All of them are
So
Brazilian.
all of them are Brazilians. So what if I tell you that uh, you could take it to the next level and make it an international school?
I would say that's a goal. That's a goal.
So I guess we could be able to help each other out, because you got students from Brazil, they're
Yeah.
willing to learn. And we got students from mostly Iran, Russia, Turkey. Say, where else do we have students from, Reza? We have so
South of
many.
America, Colombia, yes.
Yeah, and
Some state in USA,
yes,
southeast of USA, Tennessee, and something like
these
this.
kind of. So I guess it's gonna be a great boost to just join forces and just connect the students together. And let me tell you something about the idea, which I guess you haven't noticed, is that not students are not connected without a teacher. So a teacher is always presented in the class. Like,
it's the bound, like.
yeah, exactly, because those students are not probably fluent enough to keep the conversation going, so they need the concept, they need the guides, the instructions to do well. And one thing that I've noticed is that students learn English much better this way. Honestly, you should try it. You should try it, because they really see a reason to speak English, and they get motivated a lot more. One thing that I've noticed is that they are also willing to pay more. They are willing to pay more for these classes.
Exactly. Something that I've noticed is sadly, it's not exactly the case here, but people who are really, really willing for it, they are more worried about having good product, good quality, good classes, and then they will do the math if it will be too much for the budget or not. You know, here that's why something that's why this online thing will be a big hit. You know, because I don't need I don't need to have exactly a
To
place.
rent a
Well,
place. You don't need to
I don't
rent a
need a
place.
I don't need to rent a place. I don't need to buy a place. I just need a corner of my house. I need a corner where I
And a
can put, for
laptop.
example, a board that. No, to be honest, let me show you something here. Let me unplug it. This is, see here, I'm the computer that I use here, and this is all the shit that I use for. Everything is here. You know, but I don't need to rent a place and so on. And I connect people. I can connect people from all over the place, all over the country, all over from different countries. For example, although I live here in Espírito Santo, I have students from Rio, I have students from São Paulo, you know, I have people from other states, which if I had a physical school, I would
You
need to
wouldn't be able to.
focus on students who are here physically, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
You know, that's why something that this idea of your like to join the community, something that of course calls my attention, like catch my eye and so on. I have to confess that I'm just worried not to have the time to have this commitment with you.
You mean to
That's
run
my,
the classes?
yeah, that's my biggest concern about time
Let me
because
tell you something. Let me tell you something. Even if you can't communicate to the classes, it's fine. It's totally fine. Let me tell you why. Because I myself, I'm like you. You know, I have students from all over the place, but mostly they're from Iran. What I'm saying here is that you don't need, not like, I mean, not necessarily, but it would be just great. You know, not necessarily you should be the teacher. Like, let me tell you, I have like 20 students. I have 20 students here in Iran, and I won't have the time to just participate in each class. But what I do is that like, for example, I talk to a Russian teacher, and my student joins that class. My student wouldn't be able to speak Russian, so the only way that he or she can communicate is through English.
English.
The Russian student, however, you know, the teacher wants to speak Russian because, you know, English teachers are not allowed to speak in the first language. If the Russian student speaks in Russian, the Iranian student won't be able to understand. Even if they don't listen to the teacher, then
Right.
they can't communicate. But we need a teacher there. And I told you, don't worry about that. We got teachers. I have so many friends that are willing to join the community. We just need to get us started. I need you to tell me that you have students, and you know, I'll give you the profile stuff. For example, I have a student. She's interested in da 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 da. She likes da 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 da. You know, I just want your confirmation that, okay, I'm gonna join my students and myself to the community, but I don't have the time to attend the classes. That's okay. That's okay. But let me tell you something. At the same time, you can even earn more money because you're joining your students to the community. You know what I mean? Like, you can charge them. You can charge them because you're giving something unique. You're connecting them to the world, honestly. But if you don't have the time, fine. Another teacher can go and attend the class. You know what I mean? It doesn't need to be. It doesn't need to be Bruno. But if you were Bruno, that would make you look really professional in your students' opinion. You know what I mean?
No,
They would say,
I got what you mean.
yeah, you know, the Bruno has students from Russia. Wow, the guy has students from, like, you know what I mean? Like, okay, this guy has students from all around the world. He must be a thing, you know?
Yeah,
That's
no, I
why
got.
I'm saying that, that would be nice, because your English is really awesome. I've talked to so many Brazilians and we never got to 1 hour conversation, you know what I mean? Like,
Now, okay. Now I'm starting to flush my head here. I'm getting blushed here because okay, now you make me embarrassed.
honestly,
uh,
I always speak the truth. I'm not trying to
no,
sugarcoat
no,
it.
that's okay. That's okay. No, like I said, I'm really interested. I feel that's going to be a great idea. It's a great idea. It's going to be something great for everybody, of course. Okay. For example, okay. Let's do it. Let's see how how can I join in? Like, how can I try to be part of it, and how can I help a lot, and also bring all my students and gain maybe we also gain my students as well. Maybe somebody that could be interested in something that I have to offer
Exactly.
besides the community, you know.
Exactly. So, I'm so glad that you confirmed that you're gonna join. The rest of the technical terms goes to Reza. I don't
Okay.
know.
Yes, we will
The
let you
only
know.
thing I know about the computer is how to open a Skype. That's all
Yeah,
I know.
I. But
That's
also,
all I know.
I need to talk to my partner because I have a partner.
Sure,
Great.
sure. I believe that you are persuasive in my eyes. So I guess you can convince your partner pretty much easily.
I can't.
But
I need to
again,
talk to my partner is from Pernambuco. It's like 2,000 kilometers away from here.
dude,
Oh
you
my God.
yourself, I've already told you, you're a whole package yourself. You're a whole international community. You know what I mean?
My partner is from Pernambuco. She's like 2,000 kilometers from here. She joined the my school on the way, you know, and we this week we're going to start writing the third course because we have one that the listening one that I'm writing and teaching it. The second one I'm writing myself, and the third one we're going to start to write together. And besides that, I have all the 15 classes that I have to teach during the week.
That's a lot of
Great.
work, man.
Yeah.
So, Reza, please tell us more about the things, the website and everything.
Yes, in fact, at the first step, we are trying to make the site available for teachers at the first. Maybe we want to get them scheduled for the class in the week. But at the next level, we would want to also provide some facilities for students to see the teachers, to see the other students, and kind of this. But we need we need to start to see how it's going on. We maybe in the next month we launch our website and start to some couple of class through the website, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I'm also like Ollie. I'm not a big guy in terms of computer and anything. Like, I know how to turn on the Skype. I know how to turn on Zoom, and some things, but but it's going to work out. That we will manage. Relax. We will manage.
Great.
I believe so. I believe so.
Okay.
So, like, let me wrap it up. So, like in English, not in computer science. So, Reza, English, please. We don't know computer. So basically, in simple words, it's a website that teachers and students can log in, and there is the calendar. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
you can give time. Teachers can give time like whenever they want, and because it's something international, like it can be like, I don't know, we can have running classes like 24/7. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And
True.
that's a huge point. Let me tell you something. This is gonna make a difference because it's gonna be available, through the day, and that's something unique. Um, so students and the teachers can log in, but they have different profiles. The students are, they're like, they have a profile, like they're gonna, the teacher's gonna know about their level, whatever they need to know. Okay. And the teachers
Sure.
give their time, like a time sheet. Okay, so I'm gonna join the community at this time, that time, and on Friday, Monday, whatever. And what happens is that, okay, so we have one student available on Monday from Iran, and we have another student available from, I don't know, another place at the same time. Got it? And we have a teacher. What happens is that it automatically suggests that, okay, these two are the same level and they can, be matched together. And, in addition to what I just said, is that it's going to be like a course. It's going to be like a course. So, for example, 5 sessions, you're going to have a conversation with a foreigner, and 5 sessions, you're going to learn the language. For example, okay, next session, we're going to, for example, Bruno, next session, we're going to talk about the culture. Now, one session, you and me, like, for example, I'm your student. You're going to teach me about the culture, how to express my culture. Next session, you're going to have a conversation with someone else. Got it? So we prepare them for the discussion. It's not just like open the class and discuss the topic. No, it's not going to be, guys, let's talk about each other cultures. The students are not that fluent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's educational, and at the same time, it's going to be like fun and like really effective.
Practical.
True that.
English. They learn the practical English. So Bruno taught me, he taught me how to speak about my culture, but I never speak about my culture. This is what happens in most language schools. And please correct me if I'm wrong.
No, I agree with you, because
Yes.
especially in a huge country like Brazil, we don't
The
have
same
like
culture.
we don't have like a culture. We have so many different things that we can call regional cultures here.
Okay, so you see, this is gonna be something like, okay, you teach me about the topic. Next session, I'm gonna use what you said. So it's not gonna stay here. It's gonna get to the activation point. Now I'm able to open my mouth and express what Bruno told me.
Right.
Got it? And what happens is that, they get to the point that, okay, maybe this is a better way than going to like physical language schools. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, because also something that happens a lot, for example, when you get to the point you're teaching in a physical school, especially one of the last ones that I've taught, it was a multi-level school, and the teacher who teaches a multi-level school, he can takes over like the biggest number of classes as possible, because it doesn't need many teachers, just not required, And what happens is that you teach the same group of students for like a year.
Oh, wow.
You teach the same group of students. For example, I taught the same group of students for 2 years straight.
Wow, didn't you get sick of the faces? Like, I mean, Jesus, I don't want to see your face again.
Some of them, to be honest, some of them I really got sick of them, but most of them I didn't, because we got along really nice. We did had a good conviviality. We used to, for example, sometimes once in a month after the class, we used to go out to the pub, drink a beer, and talk shit. And once at my birthday party, they prepared a surprise, and they took me to a rock and roll bar, and we drank a lot and so on. And we had this, in Brazil, this is very common. Brazilian people are like this. It's not something that, oh, you're going out with your students to the bars? Yes, I'm an adult. They are adults. We get along. Why not?
Exactly.
This is something that we do. This is something that we do a lot here in Brazil. But both students and teachers, they just don't go out with anybody and like any students. They observe if that student is mature enough, has its head in the right place to go out to the bar, sit down, have a beer, and so on. You know?
Yeah.
And not like, oh, he's nice to go. Okay, let's go. No, not that. Right? It took me a while to get to this type of relationship with my students from that school that I worked for. For example, I live close to the beach, like 2 blocks away. And this group of students of mine, every Sunday they used to play volleyball at the beach. I was there with them,
Really?
And yes. Huh? Sorry?
During pandemic?
No. Before pandemic. Relax.
Yeah.
Not now. Before the pandemic. And for example, and when we took pictures around, like playing volleyball, the teacher and the students, so on, the school posted in their official Instagram the picture, and they made it a slogan like the name of the school is #1, and they say the slogan was like #1 from classroom to life, and and it was nice because when we all of us, only the students were together, we used to speak English all the time during the volleyball game.
Exactly. You see, that's a great thing. You see, that's a great thing. And let me tell you something. Not so many teachers are able to do that because I've seen teachers that the moment they get out of the class, they're not able to keep the conversations in English. And and that's because the only thing they've learned, as you mentioned earlier, is the classroom language. The classroom English. Okay, I can talk about the topics in the book. What if my students ask me about, I don't know, some other shit? Am I able to make a conversation out of it? Am I able to teach them? So and that's something to
will I be able to get my students and talk about some topic that is more polemic or some controversial topic? Will I be able to carry a conversation like that with them? Some of this, I could say that most teachers don't.
Yeah, most teachers don't because they can't. That's one thing for sure. That's true. One thing for sure. By the way, I really gotta go in like 2-3 minutes, but Bruno, it was really great. It was a pleasure seeing you.
It was really nice to see you, to get to know.
Yeah,
I was really enjoyed. Thanks so much.
I'm really happy about it. I was trying to find a picture here to show you guys, but I think I've deleted, but I can find it here on my Instagram page. It's one of the pictures that I took with this group of students here that I was talking to you guys. It's something really nice. To be honest, we talk until today. Sometimes we call each other. Some of them are becoming my students in my own school. They're coming back to me.
Yeah, that's great.
It's something nice, but I have to tell you guys, I was really happy about it. I flattered about this invitation. I hope that I can match the expectations you have on me. So this is my group of students, the ones I will talk to you about.
Oh, fantastic.
We are at the bar here.
Great.
That's so nice of you, actually. Those students would probably feel, really proud of you, because.
And it's funny to see how they are. They are just like that.
By the way, Bruno, it was really, really nice seeing you. I really learned a lot, and I'm so glad you have the same mindset as ours. And I believe that we could help each other out. There are so many things that we could, just teach our students by working together. And I do hope, you said something about the expectation. We are not expecting much. I'm not trying to, okay, Bruno is my teacher. No, nothing like that. It's basically a team. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
I've talked to other managers like, "You're my teacher. You gotta." The fuck you. If I'm teaching here, it's because I love teaching. Who the hell are you to speak to me like that?
That's true.
No, we are not, like, we are open to ideas. If you got new ideas, like, I don't know, even if you have friends from other countries, feel free to just join them to the community. It's our community. You know what I mean? It's basically, the idea is basically to give students a practical way to improve their English.
True.
And at the same time, meanwhile, they learn about the misconceptions that, fuck it, people are just nice all around the world. The cultural differences and all those kind of stuff. And at the same time, I guess it's gonna be a really great idea to make more money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because the more students we get, we get to the point that it becomes an international community. Like people
True.
from all around. I mean, literally from all around the world will join. So we are not expecting much. So don't feel pressured. Don't stress out. We're gonna go slow. The website isn't ready yet. It's gonna be ready, I guess. Reza, and please correct me if I'm wrong. It's gonna be
maybe in following month, I think.
in the following month. So
Okay.
we're gonna keep in touch. By the way, I
Perfect.
don't have your. I guess I'm gonna add you on Instagram. So we're gonna keep in touch via Instagram. Is that okay with you?
No, but be my guest.
Awesome.
Be my
So
guest. English is in my
Bruno.
skin right here. English is in my skin here. I have tattooed sentences in English here that reminds me all the time what my goal is, to be my best.
Awesome.
Great.
That's just a great motto. If you got any questions, feel free to ask.
No, it's just something that I don't know how it is there, but here in Brazil, we don't communicate much about text messages in terms of the phone text messages. We use much more apps such as WhatsApp and Telegram. Okay, so in case you get a lot of people from Brazil, WhatsApp is #1 top list to get in touch with.
Okay.
Great.
So it's the same here, I guess, right? So
No, because
Yes.
I've noticed that some places people don't use much, so
it's
better
totally
safe than sorry about it.
Yeah, in
everyone.
fact, we sold all of our time in Telegram, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I personally use WhatsApp. Most of people that I know use WhatsApp as well, and there are a good number of people that also use Telegram too.
So in Iran, both are common. Honestly,
Okay.
WhatsApp and Telegram are both like the two top applications that people use. So it's
Yeah.
fine. It's okay.
Okay.
We can actually switch to WhatsApp if you feel comfortable that way.
No. In terms of having conversations like this we're having, Skype is the good one because WhatsApp I only have on my phone, so squeeze the screen is complicated for me.
Yeah, I totally get you. So I'm not gonna hold you any longer. Bruno,
Okay.
will keep in touch. Feel free if you got any ideas, any questions, just feel free to ask. Reza is here to help. He's really honestly a genius in terms of technology and all this
Thank
kind of
you.
stuff. And he
All
also
right.
teaches. I didn't know that he teaches the technology stuff. You know what I mean? And
Oh, nice.
one day in the class, he said that I also teach myself. And I was like, Jesus, dude, why you haven't told me yet? He's a
Let's
he's
have a
a
computer English. Let's have a computer English class.
I would love to. I don't know about you, Bruno, but that's something I need. Guys, have a lovely night. Here in Iran, it's night. It's the nighttime. Have a
Yeah,
lovely
here
night.
is 4:30 p.m. by now.
Yeah, so have a blissful day and stay safe, bro. Stay safe.
You
Don't go
too.
outside. Yeah. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye.
Bye,
Bye.
dude.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye. Bye.